August 8, 1588. A colossal Spanish armada, over 100 galleons strong, surges through the English Channel. Cannons roar, swords clash, and the screams of thousands fill the air. The fate of two empires hangs precariously in the balance during the Battle of Gravelines, one of history's most brutal naval encounters. But what if we introduced an impossible element? Emerging from the morning mist off the Flemish coast is something utterly alien to the 16th century. A 9,000-ton Arleigh Burke Flight 3 guided missile destroyer from 2025, thrust into a battle it was never designed to fight. What would unfold if Earth's most advanced destroyer was unleashed upon one of history's greatest naval battles? Could it single-handedly obliterate the Spanish Empire's ambitions? Or would it simply be one technologically advanced warship against a formidable force of 130? Let's first examine the marvel we've dropped into 1588. The USS Arleigh Burke, stretching 509 feet, weighs as much as 100 Spanish galleons combined. 4 gas turbines generate 100,000 horsepower, propelling this steel leviathan through the waves at 35 miles per hour, roughly 4 times faster than any sailing ship of the era. Its primary weapon is a 5-inch Mark 45 naval gun, capable of firing 127mm high-explosive shells up to 24 kilometers away at a blistering rate of 20 rounds per minute, all guided by computer precision. Below deck, 96 vertical launch cells house SM-6 missiles that can eliminate targets beyond the horizon, complemented by a Phalanx CIWS, which spews 4,500 tungsten rounds per minute at anything foolish enough to approach. Beyond its raw power, it's incredibly intelligent. An onboard AEGIS and Spy-6 radar system can track hundreds of targets simultaneously from over 40 kilometers away. In an era where naval commanders strained their eyes through spyglasses and prayed for clear weather, this destroyer perceives everything through fog, smoke, or the darkest night. Meanwhile, the Duke of Medina Sidonia commands Spain's most magnificent display of naval might. Leading the charge are 6 massive galleons, the San Martin, the San Juan, and the Nuestra Señora del Rosario, each armed with 50 bronze cannons. Behind them, 124 more ships carry 30,000 of Europe's finest soldiers, trained for months to board English ships and engage in hand-to-hand combat. Their heaviest guns, 32-pound demi-cannons, could pierce oak planks at 300 meters. Spanish gunners loaded solid iron balls, intended to splinter masts and shatter hulls. But their true weapon was 2,400 soldiers, poised to swarm across grappling hooks and transform the sea battle into a brutal sword fight. The Spanish sailed in their renowned crescent formation, with transport ships protected in the center by strong warships guarding the wings. They had meticulously drilled this formation for months, even using scale models of the English coast for preparation. Nothing was left to chance. This time, however, they had no conception of what they were truly up against. 5 a.m. The destroyer's radar operators detect something unusual. 130 wooden contacts moving in perfect formation at 8 knots, 30 kilometers to the north. The Combat Information Center erupts as computers classify each ship type, calculate solutions, and prioritize targets. The destroyer's captain doesn't hesitate. The ship turns into the wind, accelerating to 30 knots as sailors rush to their battle stations. The main gun swivels toward the distant fleet, utterly oblivious to the impending doom. The first 5-inch shell screams across 20 kilometers of open water. Admiral Medina Sidonia is reviewing battle plans when the San Juan, his second-largest warship, detonates. It's as if God himself struck it with a hammer, and that's probably his best guess. The 50-gun galleon disintegrates in a pillar of fire and splinters that rain down across half the Spanish fleet. Spanish lookouts desperately scan for enemy ships. They see nothing but an empty horizon. Then another explosion. The Nuestra Señora is gone. The San Mateo erupts in flames. Ships capable of dominating the 16th century seas are vanishing every 30 seconds, victims of an invisible enemy. The destroyer maintains its distance, circling the Armada like a predator. Its gun barrel glows red-hot, unleashing shells faster than Spanish crews can even comprehend what's unfolding. Each hit transforms proud warships into burning wreckage. Wooden hulls, designed to withstand cannonballs, simply vaporize against high-explosive rounds, engineered to destroy steel. Medina Sidonia orders his fastest galleons to scout ahead and locate the ship that strikes from nowhere. 8 vessels break formation, spreading their sails to catch the wind. They charge bravely into the unknown. Correction, they charge foolishly into the unknown. The destroyer's fire control computer assigns each one a target number. 8 shells arc through the morning sky, and all 8 Spanish ships cease to exist in consecutive explosions that sound like a terrifying drumbeat to the rest of the Armada behind them. The Spanish fleet watches their fastest ships vanish in horror. Panic ripples through the Armada. Some captains order their ships to scatter. Others huddle together, hoping for safety in numbers. The carefully rehearsed crescent formation collapses. Some drop to their knees, convinced this is divine punishment. Sailors abandon their guns to pray. Meanwhile, the destroyer continues to systematically eliminate ships with impossible precision. The flagships are targeted first to decapitate leadership, then heavy galleons to eliminate firepower, followed by transports to prevent any landing. By 7 a.m., 40 Spanish ships are burning or sinking. The destroyer hasn't even used its missiles. They are simply not needed. The main gun is more than sufficient for wooden ships that might as well be made of paper. In desperation, Medina Sidonia orders his remaining ships to charge together. If they can just close the distance, perhaps their sheer numbers can overwhelm this sea demon. 60 galleons turn toward their invisible tormentor, drums beating, soldiers roaring battle cries. The destroyer's captain orders full speed ahead, cutting perpendicular to the Spanish charge at 35 miles per hour. The Spanish watch in horror as they finally glimpse the ironclad beast. It moves without sails, yet races through the water faster than a horse can gallop, and its gun never seems to stop, never seems to miss. The Spanish attempt to return fire. Hundreds of bronze cannons roar in defiance, filling the air with iron balls. The few shots that actually reach the destroyer at maximum range bounce off its steel hull as if it were nothing. One lucky ball merely dents the paint near the waterline. A touch-up to the paint job would undo all the Spanish Armada could throw at it. The destroyer's phalanx system activates when a desperate Spanish captain attempts a fireship attack. The burning vessel approaches within 2 kilometers before the CIWS shreds it into sawdust with a 3-second burst that sounds like a loud buzzsaw to the crew. The Spaniards, of course, have no idea what a buzzsaw is. To them, the sound is truly from hell. By 8 a.m., the Spanish Armada has ceased to exist as a fighting force. 80 ships burn. 30 more are taking on water through massive holes. The remaining 20 have cut their anchors and fled in every direction other than forward. The destroyer pursues at leisure. Its helicopter, a Seahawk, which the Spanish likely perceive as a metal dragon, spots fleeing ships from above and vectors the destroyer for interception. No sailing ship can outrun turbine engines. By noon, 127 ships of the Spanish Armada have been sent to the bottom. 3 survivors, small dispatch boats, are allowed to escape to carry word of the catastrophe back to Spain. Their crews will spend the rest of their lives attempting to describe the impossible. When Spanish survivors reach King Philip II, their reports will sound like madness. Philip will spend his remaining years convinced that God himself intervened. The destroyer, meanwhile, anchors off Portsmouth with enough fuel for maybe another week of operations. Its magazines still hold 60 missiles that were never needed. The Spanish Empire never recovers. Without the Armada, Spain cannot protect its gold fleets, cannot reinforce its colonies, and cannot even defend its own coasts. England emerges as the undisputed master of the seas 2 centuries early.